See, how come they have that? Someone has a crypto bubbles live and they have 11K watching. That's how you do it. Oh no, I'm sorry, 11. Oops. Everyone's a YouTuber.
YouTube.
I'm a YouTuber.
YouTube.
I'll show you YouTube.
Hey, yo, why are you taking my line? Can you lift it?
Huh?
Why are you taking my line? My line. You're an imposter DJ now? You're like Shiba.
Yup. We're not cloud changers. What?
Yeah.
Should we believe the hype? What hype?
You're being like Shiba to the DJ coin. Or DJ, what's the... I don't even know would be a good alternative. Did you get what I mean?
Hey, I'm highly trained. And I'm not scared of silence.
What are you scared? Oh, boy. I'm not going to even answer my own question. Never mind.
Alright. I'm gonna hop into my Discord here and just put out the notification to everyone that the stream's up. Cool. So let's tweet it out. It's on Discord. It's all that good shit. How's that music volume, by the way? Good morning, TF. Good morning, Nathaniel Doty. Way too blaze. It's my favorite time of the day. Hey, Rick. How are you doing? Sarah. How are you, Sarah? Echo 1004, TF, Adam Johnson. It's cool. So, good morning. What's Bitcoin been up to? $69,000 as an all-time high. Holy shit. That happened when I was sleeping, by the way. Let me see. So this chart is set into Brisbane time, my time zone, so that happened at 12:15 my time. That's crazy. Well, here we are. We've pulled back and we're just trying to figure out where this support's gonna be. So I'll look into that in just a moment. I'll let some more people filter through first before we dive into anything. Produce the beats. How are you, dude? Shiba TA, please. I'm just gonna have a pretty relaxing stream here. I'm not gonna go into too much depth with anything, but yeah, I'll do overlooks. I'll look over some alts and do a bit of a market analysis. I mean, check out total market cap. We hit, at least on the daily perspective here, it's saying 3 trillion. But when you change it back down to the 4 hour, we didn't quite make it to 3 trillion. It was 2.962. And if you go to the 1 hour, it's yeah, so 2.962 is the actual number. But For some reason, the daily quotes a different price. I don't know why that is, but anyway, that's total market cap for you. So I haven't been trading in the last couple of days, but I've been watching it for sure. Yeah, I've been like seeing the market do its thing. I'm still a believer of Solana. Like, that's one of my, as you guys know, I've been talking about Solana for months. And it just, over time, it just continues to perform. Like, okay, so here's the start of the year, here's January. All the way to now, like, what a journey, what a bullish journey it's been on. It's come up, what, 20,500%? 20,500% since January. That's massive. This was that whole Solana, that thing where the transactions got choked up on the network and they were like, oh, Solana's broken. But that didn't last long because it pushed and trended up perfectly fine. There's no problem with it. So it's probably like an issue that they can resolve too. Like, you know, it's just like a whole bunch of kind of like when a coin has a hackathon, they organize an event to try and expose the weaknesses in their project so that they can fix it. So this thing was kind of a blessing, like this traffic thing. It was kind of like a DDoS attack on the network, the Solana network, and it almost grinded to a halt because it was so choked up with transactions. And then, yeah, that eventually ended that whole charade. And then now we're back on track. So with Bitcoin, yes, like we've had a couple of days here of red. This is the third day, which is not looking that strong yet. But by no means do I think this uptrend's over. Like I still think there's a little bit more gas in the tank. One thing I did notice is it looks kind of reminiscent to this. You know how we had this situation at the start of the year? That, if I take that like little, you know, schematic and put it over here, it's kind of like that. It kind of reminds me of that. Like where, ooh, maybe we'll start, you know, capping out and we'll, you know what I mean? Like the highs are just not incredibly higher. They're sort of only just a little bit, you know, like they're just squeezing out as much optimism as they can before a retracement. But yeah, all I'm saying is it looks similar to that. I'm not saying it's going to happen because, you know, past performance doesn't indicate future outcomes. But yeah, that's interesting to look at as like a possible echo of what happened at the start of the year. Now, yeah, so yeah, it does look like it's kind of running out of steam. Like the top might be rounding out, like something like this, like where it rounds off. Who knows? I guess we'll find out. From a technical perspective, let's see what the weekly has to say. Yeah, the cipher indicator is kind of looking like it's about to do a shift, like a momentum shift, and we'll get like a red dot here and potentially like have a wave down. But and yeah, the RSI, the stochastic RSI here is very elevated, and it's like been capped out at the high at 100. So it's, you know, where's it more likely to go, down or higher up from here? I mean, you can't go higher than 100, so that's kind of just like that's redlining basically. And then on the weekly MACD for Bitcoin, you can see there's the first hint that this week might be the pivot, you know, as this lighter green shift. Because if you notice, like at a high, like at a pivot, the color shifts from dark green to light green, and then you get the change in momentum. Just the same as like when it goes red. As soon as you start getting a lighter red shift, that indicates a possible pivot. So yeah, we could be at a turning point right now for Bitcoin. There's no doubt this has been incredible. Like the journey from 30,000 up to 69 in the space of, you know, 100 days. That's pretty impressive. 135% up for Bitcoin in 100 days. So yeah, we honestly, like, yeah, we could see a lot more action, but I think it's okay. I think we can afford to like cool off a little here, and maybe even come back down to like, you know, 55k, dip below 60, and then start trending again. But as far as like, yeah, this could still be wave 3 as well, by the way. Like if you look in the weekly, say if this was wave 1, the pullback is wave 2, wave 3s can, well, you know, the more reserved target would be the 1-to-1, which is here, 63,200, or the more optimistic outcome is up here, 1.618. So we haven't even come up to tag that just yet. And that's assuming that this is wave 1, that was 2, and then we're still climbing on wave 3 to target the 1618 FIB level. But the other way is if you go back to the daily chart and you say that, well, what I was saying in the last stream was this was wave 1, this was 2, that was 3, this was 4, and then we're currently on the 5th wave. Potentially, but I guess we will find out. And yeah, someone did mention, I think it was in Static's Discord. By the way, shout out to Static Trading. Links to his YouTuber in the description for this stream, as well as many other awesome channels, so check them out. But yeah, someone was saying that this little structure here could still be, even, you know, this chop sideways could still be the part of an overall wave, so like a wave 3. So that is, I like that. That's like an optimistic outlook on this being a wave 3. So but yeah, if you look at the oscillators, it just looks like on the daily it's running pretty hot, and it is due for a pullback. And that's kind of what we're getting over the past 3 days. Where does it pull back to? I'm kind of like thinking maybe, you know, it could even hold here, to be honest, because look at these highs here, these pivots. There's a lot of like resistance here before we cracked through it, and now we're coming to back test that perhaps, and then, you know, once we build the confidence here, we can start moving up. Like, but yeah, I think those oscillators just need time to cool off. So that's where we're at. Swanson Girl, thank you. Please hit the like button, guys. I'm driving, but I still had time to do it. Be careful. Be careful. Or hopefully you were pulled over or something. Alright. So that's Bitcoin. This is like just a bit of a shake to see who's going to react to that. I think like maybe it's a stop hunt, maybe it's a liquidation hunt. But let me open up the fear and greed index as well, because that can be pretty interesting to see what figures are being recorded on there. So we're still in, we're currently in extreme greed. We're at 77. Yesterday was 75. But this thing, we've seen this come up above the 90s like before, so it's not like we've exhausted the greed just yet. Maybe, you know, there's, look at all that action up here back in like late December last year. Yeah, this time last year, like greed was up above 90, you know, approaching 100. So yeah, there's very much still room to move into, you know, greedy part of the cycle, a greedier part of the cycle. Yeah, so that's fear and greed. Let's have a look. Ethereum, huge rising wedge. Ah, Producer Beats with the super chat. Thank you, Producer Beats, $1.99. Super quick TA on block if you don't mind. Yeah, sure thing. Ethereum, I'll just quickly say on Ethereum, it looks, yeah, like a rising wedge, which it's been in for a long time. Yeah, I just don't know where to draw the cap to that. But the whole thing looks very scary to me. Like, dropping out of that wedge at some point seems likely. It can't go up forever, and it will hit like a critical point where it has to retrace and regather its strength. I don't know, but yeah, it's quite the climb. But you know, rising wedges aren't guarantees. You can always like invalidate them and move up anyway. So I'll save that now. Block. Let's have a look at block for Producer Beats here. BLLLL. There it is. Ooh, okay, that's corrected big time. Blocktopia. It's come back and it's currently at its previous all-time high, which was right here. That purple line. That's the last time I think I did. Oh no, this falling wedge was the last time I did TA on Blocktopia, but yeah, that falling wedge didn't really result in much. Like, usually they, you know, produce a bullish breakout. And yeah, you could argue that it did a bit of activity outside of the top side, but nothing to get the ball rolling again and see it trending up. So yeah, oh well, it's all good. It's good to see examples of these patterns failing too, because they're not always guaranteed to produce a specific result. They're not set in stone or concrete or anything like that. Yeah, might delete those because there's not real clean cut trend on the bottom side of that. Alright, so I mean, if you believe in Blocktopia long term, it has pulled back very nicely off its previous high, its previous all-time high. It's come down 61%, so is it due to like rally up again? I think it depends on the fundamentals. And you've also got this. Let me adjust this to a ray so that it just goes on forever. There we go. It could still come a ways down to get back in touch with this trend line here, which is something like that. That's the trajectory it was on initially, but then it left that very parabolic and went crazy up. So I think that the best parts of the Blocktopia run this time around are over. Obviously, we've got a huge downtrend off the back of it. It doesn't, yeah, and we're currently like sort of breaking this as a support. I think that was its last sort of hope before, you know, maybe it gets in touch with this trend line here and then finds support and then, yeah, rallies back up off that. I think it's crossed. We'll see. What's up, OG Alchemist? How you doing? So I'll just click through some of the others. We got XRP, that's been trending recently as well. Here's that dollar line. I'm going to delete some of these. Actually, no, let's leave those in. We've got, so here's an example of a falling wedge that did play out bullish. You know, we got this off the back of a falling wedge. So that's good to see. Do we have a rising situation, like a rising wedge, or some kind of major pennant forming? And quite possibly, like, what if it's something like this? Like that could result in a, you know, an explosion upwards. Different color. So from this year's high of just under $2 to the lowest point of the pullback of 50 cents, we attempted to get through the 618, the golden ratio, but we got rejected heavily. Came back, played around $1 for ages. We've been, you know, trending around this area for some time. $1.10 roughly, and as you can see, we've capped up and created another pivot here. So that gives us this trend line here, this top of this wedge. And then the bottom of the wedge is produced by these lows, which are climbing. So there's higher lows but lower highs. So there is a more macro squeeze going on right now. So we'll see if it produces a big rally either later this year or early next year. I mean, there's not much left of this year, is there? We're like halfway through November, almost. So what I'll do is we'll bring this chart across here. So that's XRP. It does look optimistic, even though it's kind of boring and nothing's really been happening. You know, there's been no parabolic moves lately. I mean, the best moves are kind of behind it for this year, I think. But yeah, I mean, let's see what happens in December. December or the rest of November could produce something spectacular. I don't know. I haven't really been keeping up to date with the court case with Ripple against the SEC. Or sorry, the SEC against Ripple, because they took them to court. So, you know, pending the outcome of that, maybe we'll see some kind of like miraculous breakout where it goes up, even comes up to the all-time high, which is like $3.30, I believe, which is, you know, almost 200% up from here. So that's, yeah, XRP is kind of like my wild card pick. Like that'd be like my under the radar, you know, potential rocket. I'll look at the dog coins, so Doge and Shiba. So Doge, it's kind of underwhelming. Like it had a nice day the other day, like a couple of weeks ago, 28th of October. Crazy pump all the way up to 34 cents. But every time it does something dramatic, it pulls right back to almost where it started, and it's just a slow burner. So I still trust this trend line. I still think that's good. That like that'll hold us for the rest of the year, I think. But yeah, it really just needs to break past this resistance here. We've pivoted here once, and now you could argue twice. So it's kind of like a double top. And you know, maybe there is like a squeeze that's going on here, like from this perspective, like something like that, and maybe we're getting squeezed into early next year, like, you know, this is 420 here next year, April 20th, which has produced a lot of activity this year, as we all know. But yeah, maybe that Doge rocket launch will break us out of this, you know, this limbo that Doge seems to be stuck in. it's pretty fascinating that it's holding top 10 still, and even though it hasn't really moved anywhere. Like you can see here, Doge 10th spot, $33.8 billion. We know Shiba got up I think into 5th place or 6th place, Shiba, and now it's slid back down again to 11th. But yeah, I was saying this earlier when I was in Static's Discord. I was saying, yeah, Doge, it is still the viral pump coin. Like, it's not one of those serious projects like Solana or, you know, Ethereum or BNB, like, you know, that have true serious fundamentals behind them and they're actually trying to solve like a big problem, or, you know, come up with a product to solve an issue with blockchain. But I mean, Doge is just a token that was invented as a, you know, as a meme, as a joke, a remix of Litecoin. It was a copy paste of Litecoin, and it's old technology, old blockchain technology, and it needs, the team behind it need to come out with something to keep it fresh and competitive with the rest of the market. Because yeah, you can't just do an Elon Musk pump and expect that to you know, sustain long-term growth forever. It needs something real. It needs something to change the game a bit, because it's in kind of just limbo right now. There's nothing exciting happening, to be honest. But from a technical standpoint, so that's the fundamental side. From a technical standpoint, it's looking good. Like, we've got lower highs, higher lows. Yeah, we certainly have lower highs as well. So there is somewhat of a squeeze going on here, like where we're losing volatility over time, and it seems to be like we're all anticipating this huge breakout. And I think, yeah, it will get it at some point, but at the moment, yeah, it's been pretty boring. I don't have to tell you guys that. I'm sure you guys are all aware. And then as far as Shiba goes, let's look at the Shiba. It's yeah, it's struggling to hold that 5,000 Shiba Toshis, and it's just due for a little bit more correction here. We'll see if this holds as a floor. So what I mean by a floor is this right here. So there's this bit of a descending triangle going on, and if that holds, maybe we can get a break in the coming couple of days to get us back onto some kind of rally up. But yeah, as far as the oscillators go, yeah, this thing's still got a ways to fall, I think. Like, look at the MACD here. That every day that goes by, there's just deeper and deeper histogram bars, like, of bleeding. So the party's kind of over, at least this time around. So, you know, maybe there'll be an opportunity for, if you believe in Shiba, to get in at a better price, you know, like well below 5,000. Like maybe it comes back to back test this high that it made, which is 3.5. You know, that could be on the cards too. So we'll just have to see what happens. It's hard to say, because I think a lot of this activity, this push up, and then even this push down, this was all due to circulating supply discrepancies. So they did a whole, I think it was a burn or something happened where they burned a bunch of coins, and that caused the price to rise, because, you know, when you burn coins, you get scarcity, and scarcity increases value. Now, the pullback, according to a video that I watched, was due to a difference between CoinMarketCap reporting Shiba's circulating supply and then Shiba's actual circulating supply not matching up. So, and that was like around here, right? Or around this climb here. So I don't know if it was a mistake or it was malicious. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, I think that's what caused this pullback here. But, you know, every up has a down, and every down well, we hope every down has an up, so this eventually this will find support somewhere. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna explode anytime soon, like up. I think it needs to it needs to like stabilize itself because it's been so volatile. Like that's very volatile activity. You know, look at what Doge did. Doge had its explosion. Like it had two, like big one here, big one there, and then it just had to cool off over time. The volume dropped, the excitement went down, and I think Shiba could be in for something like that. You know, where it goes. It's done that, it's done this, and then over time it just, you know, winds down, sets a few lows in, and then, yeah, potentially. We'll see. That's just going off, you know, we don't have many examples of a meme coin blowing up, and then, other than Doge, so that's why I'm basing the comparison off Doge here. We had an explosion up, and then yeah, that consolidation over time. But yeah, the higher lows, that's the optimistic factor that Doge and Shiba have, or potentially Shiba. We'll see. All right, let's check out Solana. I love Solana. Solana is a good, consistent performer. You know, the bigger it gets, I know that obviously the smaller the percentage changes are gonna be because it's so big. Kind of like how Bitcoin, you know, a 1% day for Bitcoin is a good day. Whereas if you look at an alt, that's nothing. Like that's sluggish. That's going nowhere kind of thing. But yeah, look, I mean, a couple of days ago to go up 6.72% in one day, that's incredible. That's a big move for Bitcoin at this level too, up this high, 69,000. So yeah, with Solana, it reminds me of Ethereum. Ethereum has got to that point where it's so big that 1% moves are a big deal, you know, on those bigger tokens. So from a market cap perspective, let's check out the leaderboard. So BNB is still comfortably third place. Solana was fourth. It was ahead of Tether. Can you see a lot of money has flown back into Tether? About $2.9 billion actually. This was at 71 not long ago. So there's a lot of people jumping out, taking profit, probably off Bitcoin and some of the other large cap coins, and hiding in here, waiting for the dip to be over. Because, you know, technically Bitcoin is, you know, in a 3-day dip right now with a hell of a lot of volatility in the last few hours. Look at that. That's crazy. Crazy price action for Bitcoin. So, yeah. I guess it's, yeah, a lot of people just uncertain of where things are gonna go now from here. Because right now, it is hard to say. Is Bitcoin... Is it done for now? Is it gonna like do a bit of a downtrend for the next couple of weeks, or is this just like a shakeout? Is this just, you know, a hiccup on the overall uptrend? I guess, you know, $2.9 billion worth of people or of money say, yeah, I'm not sure, so I'm going to sit on the sideline until there's more clarity on that. And I'm in the same frame of mind. I don't know. I can't. There's no certainty right now with Bitcoin. I'm just not sure if it's going to continue up, or whether this is the start of a pullback. So we'll see. BNB, much like Solana, that's trying to get back to a previous high of $691. It got pretty close, but it's feeling the effect of Bitcoin pulling back. But it is holding ground. There is still obviously these higher lows on BNB. I'm just going to see if it can hold. Like, we're going to see if it can hold this area for support and then continue that climb. But yeah, the oscillators have been running pretty hot. And, you know, it would be healthy to see a couple of days of red, I think. Because we've been so bullish lately. For the last, you know, the last month or so, it's been crazy bullish. So Solana, yeah, I mean today it's off to a good start. It's almost 2% up. It's been in like an hour and 48 minutes so far. So there's still plenty of day left, but this would be my long-term pick, Solana, I think. It's taken Cardano and Solana have been like taking turns lately. They've been, you know, I'm fifth, no, I'm fifth. You know, they've been swatching around. I think Cardano was like fourth for quite a long time there too, well ahead of Tether. But yeah, I put it this way, like just looking at Bitcoin on the daily and seeing where it's been and where it's kind of at, I would not be investing heavily. Like you would not go long here for a 5-year hold. I mean, unless you're willing to ride out a potential dip and then, you know, maybe a rally later on. But I think there's potentially we could be seeing better prices for Bitcoin, you know, cheaper prices in the coming months or even just weeks. So yeah, just be aware it is on the high side. We are definitely elevated. We're overbought. There's a lot of divergence. There's a lot of bearish divergence right now on Bitcoin, actually. If you look at the oscillator, we can see how high that the MACD has climbed here on this all-time high. This was back in April, Bitcoin all-time high. And then this is right now. So to make this move up sustained, the MACD has to represent that and shows like a stronger move than what we got in January. So and so far that's not the case. Like there's still time for it to play out, but at the moment as it stands, it's looking like it's diverging a bit. Like see that? Oscillator, lower high, price, higher high. Bearish divergence. So from a grand scale, I think this move up just needs to correct down, and as long as it doesn't correct deeper than 30, we're good, you know, on the macro scale. I don't think it's hard to say, but because we're so high up right now, around like, you know, above 60,000, it's hard to imagine 30,000, isn't it? It's like pretty hard to see that Bitcoin could ever go back down to 30, let alone 20, because some people are calling for 20, like a retest of this high. But never say never. Crypto does wild things, as we all know. But yeah, the best advice I have for investment is do it at the back of a bear trend. Don't do it on top of a bull trend. And we're on top of a bull trend. There's no doubt about it. We're very green. Your fear and greed index is 77 on the greed side, with extreme greed. So basically, if you have a large sum of powder ready to invest in something, you know, patience might and this isn't, I'm not giving financial advice, this is just something to ponder. This is just a perspective for you to weigh up, you know, when you're trying to decide what you want to do. But, you know, yeah, just understand that the risk is high at the top of a run like this. The higher we climb up, the riskier it is to go long. The more we pull back and get cheaper prices, the smarter it is to go long, like, you know, to invest as things are going cheaper. So yeah, just always keep that in mind. Like no matter what time frame you're on, just try to identify, like, okay, are we at the top of a bull run, or are we at the bottom of a pullback? Like have we cooled off enough? So right now, yeah, like the Bitcoin chart, it's hard to sort of say what's going on here. This could be a bear pennant, to be honest. Like right here, like if this doesn't if this shape here doesn't get invalidated as a bear pennant, then yeah, I think we might be starting a bit more of a correction, maybe down to 60,000 again. We'll see how we go. So that's Bitcoin. I'll stop talking about Bitcoin for a bit. We'll look at some more alts. So yeah, BNB's looking good. Solana's looking good. Doge's looking flat, as per usual lately. Shiba's looking kind of bearish, I would say. Which is good news if you're a long-term Shiba hopeful. XRP is looking interesting because it's in that bull pennant. Blocktopia, yeah, it's lost that support. There we go. So produced a beats. I was asking about that one, I think it was. Yeah, Blocktopia. So I think yeah, just look for any kind of activity off that trend line that we have going on here. All right, let's do a bit of a speed run on the alts. So someone asked, I remember, about Phantom, so FTM. Whoa, that's volatility right there. But overall, still an uptrend. Even though there's a bit of a lower high there, there's like, yeah, there's no doubt about it. This is a downtrend here. But, you know, lower lows, lower highs, downtrend. Higher lows, higher highs, uptrend. Like it's as simple as it gets. Will it hold this? That's the big question. Will it hold this trend here? Moving up. Let me just extend that over here like that. There we go. So Phantom still overall macro scale optimistic, I would say. Just look at the length of that wick there. That shows a lot of buying activity. So people are happy to pay for it, it seems like. As soon as it drops below $2.62, $2.65, it gets bought up pretty quick, at least for now. You know, perhaps all this wick, all of that support that got sold through has sort of shaken out the stability that it was trying to build at this level. But yeah, I think a lot of, like, as I always say, the alts, they need Bitcoin to at least chop sideways and maintain optimism for the overall market sentiment. Like if Bitcoin crashes like it did back in May, like this, that's kind of, it spells the end to any kind of like bullish bull market sentiment for the alts to perform off. What it needs to do, this is what needs to do for a bull market, an alt season. You know, we like to see the alts pop off. Bitcoin needs to climb, it needs to bring fiat into the market, and then it needs to just do like a downtrend that doesn't go, you know, as deep as, you know, any deeper than 25%, I would say. So as long as it doesn't crash more than that, more than 30%, then it'll hold that sentiment enough for the alts to perform. So right now, I don't think Bitcoin is doing anything like this. Like, I don't think this is the start of that. I think we could be through this kind of moment, like where it's just gradually making higher highs. There's nothing explosive. I think the most explosive parts of the year are over for Bitcoin. Like maybe early next year we'll get a crazy rally, but you know, 100K before the end of the year, I'm not going to say it can't happen, but I don't know. I'm not convinced just yet. I just think we've spent a lot of our fuel already. That's the kind of feeling that I get. So Phantom, yeah, it's pending the strong performance of Bitcoin. Maybe it's seen the best part of its its run this year. Like maybe all of this has already it's already played out the best parts, and it's gonna just either the best thing it could do is just hold support at this area here for the rest of the year, or the rest of this month at least, or maybe moving higher. But let's see how that goes. So that's Phantom. It's overall it's optimistic. It's the reason it's pulling back so heavy is because it went up so fast. Like, this is parabolic. This is like crazy movement. Now let's check out. So we've looked at Phantom. Some other popular ones. Let's just see what's moving today. Cube, which is on Gemini. The last 2 days have been pretty cool for Cube. Nice pullback there. Hasn't been around for that long, really. When did it come out? April. And it went flat for so long. Very similar to how Shiba behaved, It came out, went into support discovery, established a level of support, and then a level of resistance, and just traded in that range for some time before finally getting a break. And then that break is explosive when it happens. So if you ever see that with a new coin, like something that's fairly new on the scene, and it's had a pullback and it's just been flat on the ground, then yeah, that can be very optimistic and profitable. So someone's saying LRC. A couple of people are asking about LRC. Let me check in with LRC. Whoa, okay. That thing's been going crazy for like, what, at least a week, 6 days. Even down here, that's like, what, 2 weeks, sorry. Wow. Well, if you jump in on this, that's called FOMO. Buying into crazy green like that, that's FOMO. You want to try and catch, just like I was showing on Cube here, you want to try and identify a building of, like a squeezing or like some kind of action like that, where it's broken out of a long-term resistance or something, something like that. So LRC, what did it do? Let's zoom out. Jeez, this has been all over the place. This coin's a bit crazy, to be honest. Look at that. I don't even know what LRC is, to be honest. Coinbase. Loopring, okay. I have heard the name Loopring. LRC is the Ethereum-based cryptocurrency token of Loopring, an open protocol designed for the building of decentralized crypto exchanges. Okay, cool. 2020. Daniel Wang, a software engineer and an entrepreneur based in Shanghai, China. Okay. Science. So, okay, LRC, it's a Chinese crypto. Well, at least the CEO is. So maybe this is the way that China is getting in on crypto behind the scenes. I don't know. Wonder, I doubt, I don't know, maybe, is he operating LRC out of China? Probably not, because it's banned there. Crypto is banned in China. But who knows, maybe he's got like permission, special permission by the Chinese government. Let's see. Just gonna jump into Discord here and put in my my screen so that people can see that. Now, just while I'm going over the alts here, I'm just gonna go solo, basically. So I'm not gonna, you won't be able to hear yourself through the stream or anything if you're in the Discord, but I'll open up the Discord audio once I've finished looking at, you know, all of these alts that we're interested in. So yeah, just be careful, guys. Playing anything that goes up like this vertical and that hot, you know, they can produce some pretty nasty down wicks down or moves down after it as the take profit sets in. So just be careful playing LRC. But I don't want to talk you out of it, because there could be, you know, if you're feeling lucky, there could be some further action out of it. I don't know. Who knows where it's heading? It's in price discovery right now. So, I mean, the current high that it has is just under $4. So it's at high of $3.92. It's currently at $3.27. So it has pulled back off that initial run up. I think this little shake here was thanks to Bitcoin, this pullback. Yeah, I think that was felt throughout the whole market. Bitcoin doing that wick down last night for me was like, that was crazy. 7 a.m. it wicked down to just below 63,000. So yeah, LRC, still optimistic. Just be very careful and try to, you know, have an exit strategy is what I would say with LRC. I don't know how high it's going to go, but good luck if you're in it or trying to get into it. Keep your eye on the oscillators. Maybe trade it off like the 5-minute chart only. Don't expect like any kind of, you know, what am I trying to say here? Like, yeah, just play it as it comes. Play the waves as they come, like on the, even the 1-minute chart, like if you're scalping it, because it's very volatile and the moves are pretty big. See, that 1-minute candle alone is 1.6%. That's big. That's a big move. So just, yeah, be very careful and have a stop loss. Have a reasonable stop loss in case it does start turning the other way. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing there for LRC. So what else are we looking at? Let's look at what else is trending right now today? Cube AI, so multiverse, which I think is only on KuCoin. That's had a very volatile year. It only came out in June. And wow, what a spectacular looking chart. Potentially it's on the start of an uptrend. Like, we've got all the hallmarks of an uptrend. Higher highs, higher lows. So this is the price to beat. This high here on multiverse, on AI, it has to get above 7.5 cents to continue this trend. But yeah, the bottom side is looking good. Like, those lows are significantly higher. I'm comparing this and this here. So this pullback finding support there is good. Tuggy Pepper, $5 super chat. Thank you, Tuggy. Could you check out Filecoin and BAT? Thanks, Rick. Yeah, sure thing. Let's check out Filecoin. And then basic attention token as well. So EFFF file. This is the another KuCoin wonder. Did it get listed to Binance yet? Yeah, it did. Cool. What am I thinking of? What's that one that's like... Oh, TEL. I'm thinking of TEL. So file is different. Yeah, FIL. Alright. It's currently... Yeah, it's... You can see the volume's low. Like, it's just... It's getting screwed down, similar to Dogecoin, where it's constantly getting in touch with this trend, this support. It's not showing strength yet. It needs to break out of whatever that is. It's like a, you know, that's the downtrend it has right now. The lower highs over time. But yeah, it's oh boy, is it reaching an apex. Like, that's a really long-term apex right there. Which is, you know, the final day of that is like the 28th of November. So yeah, keep your eye on that. That's what I would say. Keep your eye on this downtrend and this uptrend line, these two trend lines, because that is a hell of a wedge, or a hell of a pennant formation out on the daily chart. Yeah, hopefully it gets a nice bullish breakout explosion. But the other one was BAT, basic attention token. Save that Filecoin chart. BAT. Ooh, okay, so this is looking a little more optimistic, or like that it's already done what Filecoin is about to do, perhaps. See that? That's kind of what Filecoin is in, this big macro wedge, and we need it to break out bullish, just like basic attention token has. So, man, these alts, some of these alts move so sporadic that it's really hard to gauge where the hell it's going, you know? But at least we've got that yellow line on the bottom side there. That's the support. You know, we've been counting on that since January as our long-term trend line there. So with any luck, it'll hold. If that breaks, if that yellow line breaks, if the price breaks down below that, that's when I'd be looking out to get out. Yeah, is it gonna move in the next like couple of days up, or it's hard to say. Let's look at the shorter time frame, like the hourly here. I think it's feeling the effects of Bitcoin, to be honest. Like, that seems to be what it's doing. Maybe this is like what's happening right now on it. Like it's squeezing down into like a pennant, perhaps. Maybe I should start doing that Mitch Ray thing where you have to pay $20 for a request. Just kidding. I don't think I'll do that. $20 super chat for TA requests. I can't believe he does that. That's crazy. That's a lot of money. Just to have a look at a chart. Happy to work my way through the market, but you know, I will burn out eventually. I'll get a sore throat. I'll be ready to let other people start talking. All right, AVAX. Someone's saying AVAX. Wow. Okay, let's check out the daily. This thing's a solid performer over time. It fell out of that rising wedge, which is good. That's textbook. It is in a larger one as well. Here, if I just change these lines up a bit to show you that. That seems to be the support side of it. And then there's like a resistance side to it as well, which is something like this. But is there potential for more bull action? Yeah. But just be aware it could become on its way back to get back in touch with the bottom of this rising wedge before maybe finding support and then rebounding up and then going back into price discovery. But all of these things, all of these coins are, they're static trading, $1.99. Thank you. Hit that like button for my man. Appreciate that, Static. And remember, guys, to check out Static Trading. A link to that is in the description of this stream. I popped in there earlier in the stream and had a bit of a chat with Prolific and was it a guy called TJ, I think? Something like that? I don't know. But yeah, it's a cool group of people over there, and they know what they're talking about for the most part. Or they, you know, it's a good place to sort of to ask questions and get pointed in the right direction. Static and I are both firm believers and supporters in a guy called Rainer Tio on YouTube. He's a really good technical analysis teacher. Like, he'll teach you the ropes kind of thing. I'll spell his name out. I'll put it in all caps. Hopefully the bot doesn't take me out, but Rainer Tio. So he's worth looking up on YouTube. But thank you, Static, for that super chat there. Let's see, what else have we got here? Yeah, AVAX. Just try to draw those lines out on it and see if it holds that structure. I think it will, because it's still early days. Ethereum did one of these. We all know Ethereum bounced around in like a rising wedge, and it's currently, Ethereum's like up in the squeezy part of it right now. Like, it's starting to get a bit tighter up there. And just be aware, rising wedges do have a bearish outcome more often than not. It's not a guarantee, but that's what's sort of implied by a rising wedge. If you're referring to textbook, you know, the textbooks. So yeah, just be careful. Ethereum could go through a bit of a corrective wave. Maybe even get back in touch with 4,000, because that was the previous high pivot that it found. You could argue it has already done that. It's already back tested that high here. But yeah, if we do fall out of this rising wedge, I think a reasonable spot to find support would be about $4,000. That'd be my call for Ethereum. But yeah, we'll see. It could just ignore this altogether and just, like, you know, start trending sideways for a while and consolidating and squeezing at a newfound support or a new high, right? But yeah, obviously the top 10, they're all pretty optimistic. I mean, they're in there for a reason, the top 10. They're what's like, they're pulling in the majority of the money, especially, you know, obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum. They hold the keys to the market at the moment. Pretty impressive to see Binance Coin, BNB, crack the 100 billion market cap. That's a pretty big feat. Would be awesome to see Solana flip BNB and take that third spot. But we'll see how we go. I'm pretty optimistic with Solana, even though, yeah, it is seeing a bit of a pullback today, a retracement. And it does that. We know that all coins seem to, you know, after they rally up, if it's a promising coin, like, it will establish support higher than it did on the previous pullbacks, you know? And that's the staircase, you know, that's the macro uptrend that we're sort of expecting out of these projects that have a future, that have a good project behind, you know, a good, fundamental basis behind them. But, you know, I think what's important, or what we all don't want to see, is Bitcoin go through one of these bear markets that just bleed everything out and it takes a really long time to do it. It's really boring, really flat, loses all, you know, like the exciting trading conditions are just gone. You know, it just goes flat. It's kind of like trading Forex. Just flat and boring and not a lot of volatility. You need a hell of a lot of leverage to make it move percentages, you know. But yeah, we are very lucky. This year has been incredible for trading. Like, look at that volatility, even on Bitcoin. That's very spicy. Like, that's crazy. It's so hot right now. So what else are people saying in here? Tuggy says, what worries me is the fact that Filecoin is already 8 billion market cap, so it needs a lot to move it up and has to knock some better coins out of their spots. Yeah, fair enough. 8 billion, that's a hell of a lot of money. Buy, okay, what do I think a good buy range for Solana would be? Good question. Let's see, if this holds, see how we had a pivot here as resistance. We had a double top, and check out this, we had this cup formation, right? We had the handle, broke that resistance, and now we've come to back test it. So potentially, like, this area may hold decent buys for another leg up. We'll see. We'll see. That's not financial advice. That's just a theory. If you see the market seeing a bit more action, regardless of Bitcoin pulling back here, you know, back, it seems to be like mucking around between six. You know, the current range is between, let's just say 70 and 60. Maybe it'll chop around here for a while, allowing the altcoins to take, you know, some of that dominance off Bitcoin and trend. Yeah, but I think Solana belongs higher on the market cap leaderboard here. I think it deserves second place, to be honest, because under the hood, Solana is better than Ethereum as it stands, as it currently stands. The only reason Ethereum is up here is because there's so much built onto it and so many people invested into it. You know, there's a lot of projects built off the back of Ethereum. I mean, Tether is built off Ethereum. Yeah, there'd be a big list of projects that are a big deal that are built off the Ethereum network. So, and then there's also the promise that there's an ETH 2.0 coming out, so that's why it's maintaining its value potentially. But performance-wise, Solana outperforms Ethereum, like transaction speed, maybe scalability. I'm not sure about scalability, but probably the benefit that Solana has over Ethereum is that it's a newer project, so it was able to see what Ethereum got wrong or struggled with, and was able to incorporate that into its project before it launched. So that's why it has climbed the ranks so rapidly, Solana. It's because it's, you know, and ADA is another Ethereum competitor. And by the way, all three, these can all exist. They can coexist, just like, you know, Microsoft and Apple, or Ferrari and Lamborghini, or, you know, McDonald's and Burger King. You know, they are different companies, different projects, but they don't have to kill each other. They can coexist. You know, they can be an option, just another option out there for people to use to do their business on. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm a fan of Solana. You know, if something tragic happens to it fundamentally, where it, you know, dare I say, the team just dips out and rug pulls or what, you know, that could happen and I could look stupid. But as it stands, it's optimistic. I like Solana. Just at the current the way the world is right now, Solana's looking good. in as far as crypto goes, anyway. So AVAX, yeah. AVAX is just like this whole year has been like just bullish. Let me just go automatic and logarithmic. Right. It hasn't been out that long, has it? This is like a late 2020 release. And check out how it performed, like here. So much the same as a lot of new coins that hit the market, hit the scene. they go through support discovery. Like, you know, establish support, and then there's usually a range of resistance that they have as well. Like, let's just say it's like here on this one. And then when it breaks out of that initial support discovery, that initial support, like, or sorry, trading channel, it is explosive and it takes off. So I don't know why it corrected all the way back down to where it started here, but that was a how awesome was that as a second opportunity to get in. I mean, imagine writing that up, taking the profit here, and then waiting for this to pull back all the way through here, and then opening a long, and then writing this up again. That's crazy. Hindsight's 20/20, isn't it? It's always it's very common to go through all the shoulda, coulda, wouldas when you have, you know, all of it mapped out in candles behind you. But yeah, AVAX I'm still optimistic for. Like, from a technical standpoint, we've got higher highs and higher lows. Once that combo gets broken, that's when you can change your opinion. Okay, it's in a corrective phase, like when those features change. But for now, like, yeah, it is on a pullback, and we just need to maintain a higher low to keep the trend up, you know, to keep us in an uptrend. All right, so that's AVAX. Now let's check out I'm going to check out the NFT, like gaming type crypto. So AXS, Axie Infinity. That's in a similar pullback to the other alts because of Bitcoin doing that shakeout. It'd be nice to see it maintain this support line here and continue to rally up, but we'll see. This is like it's approaching a potential buy zone, really. Like, if it comes down to here and gets in touch with this and holds that line, that is a really good place to buy, because if you get the bounce, and this isn't financial advice, if you get the bounce, it could go back into price discovery like in the coming days or weeks. So but yeah, as a condition, if that breaks, if this trend line here breaks, you don't want to be going long in it, because it'll be looking for a deeper area of support, and that's likely to be here, the previous high here, because we haven't really back tested that as support yet. So that could be on the cards. But yeah, that's the way you should approach any positioning into anything. Like, am I getting into contact with a support or a trend line, and is it holding? Is there evidence of it holding? And if that's a yes, then cool, open a long with a reasonable stop loss below it. And that way, you know, if it does break it, at least you know, you're not gonna feel the pain of a larger pullback. So yeah. But what I would recommend against is like chasing green candles. Like, you know, if something's already taken off and you're entering longs as it's climbing, you're taking on more risk, more and more risk as it climbs, and you could end up buying the top and being the greatest fool, you know, because the whole greater fool theory is that markets only climb because there's a greater fool to buy it the higher it goes. So don't be the last person to buy. In other words. So that's AXS. I'm gonna check out. Let's see. I know some people like AMP. I'm just gonna that's squeezing. The crazy highs are getting lower. But didn't that rally a couple of weeks ago? Damn, that was good. There is somewhat of a support line, but that's a very volatile chart. That's crazy. Atom? Cosmos? Wow, That's another coin that's come back into contact with its with this long-term trend line. Look at that. Look at the way it met that and found support. That wick there, that wick down. Pretty interesting. See if it can hold that and continue to maybe climb up. We'll see. But yeah, I think you guys get the sort of the way that I do TA, the rhythm. Like I look for trend lines. If I really want to go real nitty gritty, I'll look at oscillators and go down through the time frames and see if there's opportunities for trading. Another way is like just see what's on trend. This is the FOMO way to trade, like looking at what's the hottest for the day and see if it's continuing to do it. But a really interesting way to approach trading is to swap it around. What has bled out the most? Like what's pulled back? What's in a really good position to buy? Like if we look at CRO, which is crypto.com against Tether, that's pulled off nicely, but it could be the start of something really savage, and like you don't want to be in that. So yeah, it's like kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't, or like maybe you're missing a really good buy if you don't buy at this point. It's like the conundrum that all traders find themselves in. But yeah, if something's pulling back, it could be the start of something really bad, like a bleed out. So you got to be careful doing it that way too. But yeah, check out that. Like I said, check out that YouTuber Rainer Teo. He's got a lot of great videos for complete beginners that want to learn about technical analysis and the strategies with that. I don't know, there's not really a really good strategy channel, as in like how do you approach actually trading, not technical, because I know technical analysis is a component to try to measure out where you want to get in and get out of positions, which is trading. But like, how much and of what do you, like how much and where do you open a long, or do you, like what's dollar cost averaging, all that kind of thing. Like that's strategy to me is more interesting now that I've sort of like gone through all the the TA videos under the sun and looked at them. But yeah, learning how to trade, how to actually execute trades and getting good at that, I think is probably more important than technical analysis, because TA can be invalidated. It's not 100% of the answer. It's a piece of the puzzle, but it's not, TA alone won't get you to where you want to go. But yeah, trading strategy is important, risk management, that kind of thing. And if you find that you don't have a talent for it, like it's not coming to you easily, just look at investing. That's a good way to get to rule out all the doubt and beat all the the manipulation, the market manipulation, that kind of thing. Because especially if you're margin trading, manipulation is rife in crypto, and they're out for your money. Like they want to liquidate you, like these whales that are playing the smaller time frames and shifting the price all over the place just to flush you out. So to get ahead of all that, to remedy that, don't scalp, don't day trade, because that's the hardest one to do. It's the hardest form of trading to do, is like scalping, and it's usually the least profitable too. I don't really recommend scalping. I think swing trading and investing is the way to go. It's lower risk, and it's you have to be patient, yes, but at least the profits do come eventually. And yeah, obviously there's no guarantee with investing either, but at least it's a safer alternative to trading, day trading. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna put the audio back on in my Discord here, and feel free to jump in and say hello. I'll put a link up to the Discord in the YouTube chat here, but I'm gonna go make some lunch or buy some lunch. But I might be back on in a bit. But the stream will be up. I might leave the stream up, and I don't know. I'm gonna put it on Bitcoin here. It seems to be, yeah. It's definitely not in an uptrend right now. Put it that way. So I've been speaking for an hour and 20 minutes. It's not a bad little stream there. Yeah, and smash the like button. Thank you, Alchemist. Appreciate that. Yeah. I don't know, like, I don't know if it's more harmful or helpful to leave the stream up while I'm not around. You know, is it actually doing the channel any good? Like, is it good seeing the numbers like bleed out to like 30 people, 15 people watching while nothing's happening? I don't know. Or is it better to just cut the stream after I've finished doing the TA and start it up again the next day? It's kind of the I have been turning it off, but yeah, I'll keep it up. I'll keep it up for you guys that want to just watch the chart. And the Discord's here if you guys want to jump into it. So yeah, go for it. Alright. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm gonna end the stream here and I'll catch you on the next one. So thanks a lot for checking it out and good luck in your trades. Alright, see ya.